Here is something most people get completely wrong about getting older. They think that the weakness, the fatigue, and the feeling that your body is slowly letting you down is just a natural part of aging. They think it's inevitable. But what if I told you that most of the muscle loss that happens after age 50 has almost nothing to do with age itself? What if the real culprit is sitting right there on your plate? Here is the bitter truth. Most seniors are eating in a way that is quietly, and I mean quietly, robbing them of their strength, their balance, and their independence. And unfortunately, they don't even know it. But here is the good news. It's fixable. Starting today. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to see exactly what one day of eating looks like when you are serious about keeping your muscles strong, your energy steady, and your body working for you, not against you. And there is one thing I'm going to share toward the middle of this video, something most health videos never talk about. That could make the biggest difference of all. Don't skip it. Welcome back if you are somewhere between the ages of 50 and 80, or you love someone who is. This video was made with you in mind. Today, I'm going to walk you through a full day of eating, morning to night, specifically designed to protect and build muscle strength in the senior years. We are not talking about complicated meal plans. We are not talking about expensive supplements or diets that are impossible to stick to. We are talking about simple, real, affordable foods eaten in the right way, at the right times, that your body can actually use. Now, I will tell you up front, most of what you will hear today isn't complicated, but there is one concept we'll get to around the halfway point, one thing almost nobody talks about that ties all of this together. It could be the difference between feeling strong at 70 and feeling fragile. So stay with me all the way through. Let's start at the beginning. I want you to meet Margaret. She's 68 years old, retired school teacher, loves her garden, has 3 grandchildren she adores. About 2 years ago, Margaret started noticing something that frightened her. Getting up from her favorite chair was getting harder. Climbing the stairs to her bedroom left her winded, and one afternoon, carrying 2 bags of groceries from the car to the kitchen, she had to stop halfway and rest. She told her daughter, "I feel like my body is disappearing on me." Margaret wasn't ill. Her doctor had given her a clean bill of health. She just thought, is this what getting old feels like? But Margaret decided she wasn't ready to accept that. She started paying close attention to what she was eating, and what she discovered, with some help, changed everything. Within 4 months of changing her daily meals, Margaret was back in her garden, back on the stairs without stopping, back carrying her own groceries. She told me, "I didn't get my old body back. I got a better one." Her story isn't unique. It is possible for almost anyone. And it starts with what you eat. Starting tomorrow morning. Morning routine. Hydration plus breakfast. Let's start at the very beginning of the day, because the first thing you do in the morning sets the tone for your muscles for the entire day. And most people get this wrong right from the start. Step 1, before anything else, water. Before coffee, before breakfast, before you even sit down, drink a full glass of water. At least 8 to 12 ounces. Here is why this matters so much for your muscles specifically. When you sleep, Your body goes 7 or 8 hours without water. You wake up mildly dehydrated every single morning. And here is the part most people don't realize. Muscle tissue is roughly 75% water. When your muscles are dehydrated, they don't contract properly. They feel stiff, they feel weak, they cramp more easily. So before you do anything else, hydrate. Some people like to add a small squeeze of lemon to that morning glass. That's fine. Some people warm it up slightly. That's fine too. The point is simply, water first, everything else second. Now, the coffee people in the room. Yes, you can still have your coffee. Just have the water first. Now let's talk breakfast. This is the most important meal of the day for muscle strength, and not for the reasons you might think. Most seniors skip breakfast entirely, or they have something light, a piece of toast, a small bowl of cereal, maybe just coffee. And here's the problem with that. Your body has been fasting all night. Your muscles are running low on fuel. And if you don't give them what they need in the morning, your body starts doing something called catabolism, which is a fancy word for breaking down muscle tissue to use as energy. Your own body starts eating your muscles. And after age 50, this process happens faster and more aggressively than it did when you were younger. So what does a muscle-protecting breakfast look like? Here's an example of a simple, powerful morning meal. 2 scrambled eggs cooked in a small amount of olive oil or butter. 1 slice of whole grain toast. Half a cup of Greek yogurt on the side. Plain, full fat is fine. And if you can, a small handful of berries. Let me break this down for you. The eggs. 2 eggs give you about 12 grams of high-quality protein. And not all protein is created equal. The egg protein is some of the most bioavailable protein on the planet, which means your body can actually absorb and use nearly all of it. For muscles, that matters enormously. Eggs also contain something called leucine, an amino acid that essentially acts like a switch, turning on the muscle-building process in your body. After age 60, your body becomes less sensitive to protein signals. You actually need more protein to get the same muscle-building response you used to get from less. Leucine helps overcome that resistance. The Greek yogurt, here is where we add another 10 to 15 grams of protein without much effort at all. Greek yogurt, particularly plain, full-fat Greek yogurt, is also rich in calcium, which supports not just your bones, but the way your muscles contract and move. Or the whole grain toast. This gives you slow-burning carbohydrates. And before you worry about carbs, your muscles run on glucose. They need carbohydrates to function. The key is choosing the slow-burning kind, like whole grains, so your energy stays steady throughout the morning instead of spiking and crashing. The berries, just a handful. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. They are packed with antioxidants that reduce muscle inflammation. After any activity, even just moving around the house, your muscles experience tiny amounts of stress. Antioxidants help them recover faster. Total protein from this breakfast, roughly 25 to 30 grams. Now, I know some of you are thinking, that feels like a lot of food in the morning. You don't have to eat all of it at once. You can split it. Have the eggs and toast when you first wake up, and have the yogurt and berries an hour later. But whatever you do, don't skip it. Your muscles are waiting for fuel. Give it to them. Mid-morning snack. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. Eating a small snack mid-morning is not about being hungry. It's about timing. See, here's what most seniors don't know. After age 50, your body can only use a certain amount of protein at one time for muscle repair and building, roughly 25 to 30 grams per meal or snack. Anything beyond that at one sitting, your body tends to use for energy or eliminate, rather than using it for muscles. This means that cramming all your protein into one or two big meals is far less effective than spreading it out across the day. A mid-morning snack is your opportunity to keep that protein supply steady. What does a good mid-morning snack look like? Here's a simple one. A small handful of mixed nuts, about 1 ounce, and a hard-boiled egg. That's it. Sounds simple. But let's look at what this does. The nuts. Almonds, walnuts, cashews, whatever you like. Give you healthy fats, a small amount of protein, and sustained energy. Walnuts in particular are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown to actually slow the rate of muscle loss in older adults. That's not a small thing. The hard-boiled egg? Another 6 grams of complete protein, plus that leucine we talked about again. This snack takes less than 2 minutes to prepare. You can make the hard-boiled eggs in batches on Sunday and have them ready all week. The goal here isn't to feel full. It's just to keep your muscles fed. Think of it like a wood stove. You can throw in one huge log and then nothing. Or you can add a small piece every couple of hours and keep the fire burning steadily all day. Your muscles prefer the steady fire. But here's where it gets interesting. We are not even halfway through the day yet, and already we've hit over 35 to 40 grams of protein. That's already more than many seniors get in an entire day. And your muscles have been noticing. Lunch is where a lot of seniors run into trouble. It's the meal most likely to be skipped, rushed, or reduced to something quick and convenient. A bowl of soup, a few crackers, maybe some leftovers from the night before. And none of that is wrong exactly. But lunch is also one of your biggest opportunities of the day. Let's build a lunch that's simple, satisfying, and genuinely powerful for your muscles. Here's an example. A piece of grilled or baked salmon, about 4 to 5 ounces, served over a small bed of cooked quinoa, with a side of steamed or lightly fried vegetables. Broccoli, spinach, or green beans all work great. Let me walk you through why each piece of this matters. The salmon. Salmon is, quite honestly, one of the best foods you can eat for muscle strength after 50. Period. First, it's an extraordinary source of protein. A 4-ounce piece of salmon gives you roughly 25 grams of complete, highly absorbable protein. But here's the part that really sets salmon apart. Salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. And research has shown over and over again that these omega-3s have a specific direct effect on muscle preservation in older adults. Oh, and they help reduce the chronic low-grade inflammation that accelerates muscle loss with age. They help muscles respond better to physical activity. And they help the body use dietary protein more efficiently. In other words, not only does salmon give you protein, it actually helps your body use protein better. If salmon feels too expensive for every day, that's okay. Canned salmon works just as well and costs a fraction of the price. Canned sardines or mackerel are equally powerful. Tuna, canned in water, is another excellent and affordable option. The key is getting fatty fish into your routine at least 2 or 3 times per week. The quinoa is one of the only plant foods that contains all 9 essential amino acids, making it a complete protein in its own right. And half a cup of cooked quinoa adds another 4 grams of protein to your lunch, plus complex carbohydrates for sustained energy, plus magnesium, a mineral that plays a quiet but critical role in muscle function. Many seniors are deficient in magnesium without knowing it. And one of the first symptoms of magnesium deficiency? Muscle cramps, muscle weakness, fatigue. Quinoa helps address that. If quinoa doesn't appeal to you, brown rice or sweet potato are excellent alternatives. The goal is a slow-burning carbohydrate that keeps your energy level stable through the afternoon. The vegetables: broccoli, spinach, green beans. Pick whatever you enjoy and whatever is in season. Here's why vegetables matter specifically for muscles. They are loaded with micronutrients, vitamins and minerals that work behind the scenes to support muscle function, reduce inflammation, and help your body recover. Vitamin C, found in broccoli and other green vegetables, plays a role in the production of collagen, a protein that supports the connective tissue around your muscles and joints. Spinach contains nitrates that have been shown in multiple studies to improve muscle efficiency, meaning your muscles can do more work with less effort. And the fiber in vegetables helps regulate blood sugar, which keeps your energy steady and prevents the afternoon crash that so many seniors experience. Add a small drizzle of olive oil over those vegetables if you like. Olive oil contains oleocanthal, a compound with anti-inflammatory properties similar, in some ways, to ibuprofen, without the side effects. Now here's the question I know you're thinking. Is this hard to prepare? Not if you batch cook. If you grill or bake several pieces of salmon on Sunday, steam a big batch of vegetables, and cook a pot of quinoa. You have lunches ready for 3 or 4 days. Lunch becomes just assembly. But that's how you make this sustainable. A word about what we're really fighting before we get to the afternoon snack and dinner. I need to pause for a moment because I want to explain why all of this matters so much. There's a condition that affects nearly every single person over the age of 50, and the overwhelming majority of people have never heard its name. It's called sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the gradual age-related loss of muscle mass and strength, and it begins quietly, invisibly, as early as your mid-30s. After 50, most people lose between 1 and 2% of their muscle mass every year. After 60, that rate can accelerate. Here's what sarcopenia looks like in real life. It's the difficulty getting up from a low chair. It is needing to hold the railing on every staircase. It is feeling unsteady on your feet. It's being less confident walking on uneven ground. It's not just about strength. It's about independence. People with significant muscle loss are more likely to fall. Falls are the leading cause of injury in adults over 65. A serious fall can change everything, limiting mobility, reducing confidence, and starting a cycle that is very hard to reverse. But here is the part most doctors don't emphasize enough. Sarcopenia is not inevitable. It is largely preventable, and the single most powerful tool for preventing it, More powerful than any medication is what you eat. Specifically, protein intake, spread throughout the day, combined with a few key nutrients. That is what we're doing right now. This isn't just a nice eating plan. This is a direct intervention against one of the most serious health risks of aging. And the beautiful part? It doesn't require a doctor's prescription. It doesn't cost a fortune. It just requires intention. So let's keep going. Afternoon snack. You've made it through the morning. You had a solid breakfast, a smart mid-morning snack, and a protein-rich lunch. Now it's mid-afternoon, maybe around 3 or 4 p.m., and here is where a lot of seniors reach for something sweet or something easy. Crackers, cookies, a small piece of cake. And look, I'm not here to be the food police. Enjoyment matters. Life is meant to be enjoyed. But in the afternoon slot, there's an opportunity here that is worth taking advantage of. The afternoon snack that works hardest for your muscles. Cottage cheese with sliced fruit, or cottage cheese on a few whole grain crackers. Half a cup of cottage cheese contains roughly 14 grams of protein. And not just any protein. Cottage cheese is rich in casein protein, which digests slowly. Remember how we talked about keeping that slow, steady supply of protein going throughout the day? Casein is the best possible way to bridge the gap between lunch and dinner. It releases amino acids into your bloodstream slowly over several hours, keeping your muscles in a continuous state of nourishment. Add some sliced peaches, pears, or apples alongside it. The natural sugars in fruit give you a gentle energy lift without the crash you'd get from processed sweets. And the fiber in fruit slows digestion further, keeping you feeling satisfied. If you don't like cottage cheese, here are some alternatives that work just as well. A small bowl of plain Greek yogurt with a drizzle of honey, a handful of edamame, which are young soybeans and a complete plant-based protein, 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter on whole grain crackers. Whatever you choose, aim for something with at least 10 grams of protein and some slow-burning carbohydrate alongside it. This snack takes about 90 seconds to prepare. And it might be one of the most important 90 seconds of your day. Dinner. Now we arrive at dinner, the meal most people think of as the main event, and it is important. But here's a shift in thinking that might surprise you. After everything you've eaten throughout the day, dinner doesn't have to be enormous. In fact, a moderate dinner, focused and intentional, is often more effective for muscle health than a large dinner where you are relying on one big meal to do all the work. Let's build a dinner that completes the picture. Here's the meal: a serving of lean protein. Let's say chicken breast, turkey, or lean beef cooked, I know you like it best. A medium sweet potato. And a generous side of leafy greens, a spinach salad with olive oil and a splash of vinegar, or sautéed kale. The protein at dinner. A 4 to 5 ounce chicken breast gives you about 30 grams of protein. Turkey is very similar. Lean beef, sirloin, eye of round is also excellent, particularly because red meat contains creatine, which is a compound that helps muscles store energy and recover after use. For those who don't eat meat, a large serving of lentils, black beans, or tofu can provide comparable protein. Pair 2 plant-based proteins together, like rice and beans, to get a full complement of amino acids. Here is something powerful to understand about dinner protein in particular. When you sleep, your body goes into its primary repair and recovery mode. This is when your muscles rebuild themselves from the wear of the day. Having adequate protein in your system at night means your body has the raw material it needs to do that repair work effectively. It's like giving your body a construction crew and then making sure the construction materials are there waiting. The sweet potato. Don't be afraid of sweet potatoes. They have a reputation as a carb in a way that makes some people nervous. But here's the reality. A medium sweet potato is one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can eat, or it is rich in potassium, a mineral that is essential for proper muscle contraction. Potassium deficiency is associated with muscle weakness, cramps, and fatigue. Many seniors don't get nearly enough. Sweet potatoes are also rich in beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant, and vitamin B6, which plays a role in protein metabolism, meaning it helps your body break down and use the protein you've been eating all day. The carbohydrates in a sweet potato are moderate and slow-burning. They'll replenish your muscle glycogen stores overnight, so you wake up the next morning with energy instead of that depleted, heavy feeling. The leafy greens. We've touched on greens throughout the day, but at dinner, they deserve special attention. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, arugula. These are some of the most nutritionally dense foods in existence. But for seniors specifically, their high vitamin K content supports bone health, which works in partnership with muscle health. Strong muscles and strong bones protect each other. Leafy greens are also one of the best sources of folate, a B vitamin that supports circulation and energy. Good circulation means nutrients get delivered to your muscles efficiently. And the magnesium in dark leafy greens, we mentioned it earlier with the quinoa. Consistent magnesium intake throughout the day means better sleep, less muscle cramping, and smoother muscle function overall. Dress your salads simply. Olive oil, a little lemon juice or vinegar, salt and pepper. That's all it needs. One more thing about dinner. Eat it at a reasonable hour. Ideally not right before bed. When you eat a large meal immediately before lying down, your body is focused on digestion rather than repair. Giving yourself 2 to 3 hours between dinner and sleep allows your body to finish processing the meal so it can shift into recovery mode while you sleep. This is a small change, but it makes a real difference in how you feel in the morning. Evening habit. Here's an optional step, but it is one I'd strongly encourage. About an hour before bed, have a small protein-rich snack. This is called the pre-sleep protein strategy, and research on older adults specifically has shown it can significantly improve muscle synthesis overnight, the process by which your body repairs and builds muscle while you sleep. It does not have to be much. Here are simple options. A small glass of warm milk. Half a cup of cottage cheese. That casein protein again. Remember? A small bowl of plain Greek yogurt. A few slices of turkey. Any of these work. The goal is to give your muscles a slow trickle of amino acids through the night. So when your body kicks into repair mode around 2 or 3 a.m., it has what it needs. Think of it as leaving the lights on for the repair crew. And then, sleep. Quality sleep is, without question, one of the most underrated tools for muscle health. While you sleep, your body releases growth hormone. the primary hormone responsible for muscle repair and maintenance. Poor sleep suppresses growth hormone. Good sleep amplifies it. 7 to 8 hours in a dark, cool room at a consistent time. This is part of the muscle building plan, not separate from it. And important concepts. Deeper understanding. On hydration. Throughout the day, we started the day with water, but let's talk about hydration as a full day commitment. The general recommendation for older adults is around 6 to 8 cups of water per day. But many seniors drink far less than that. Here's why it matters beyond the muscles themselves. Dehydration is one of the most common causes of fatigue in older adults. If you are feeling tired, foggy, or weak in the afternoon, before you assume it's anything serious, drink a full glass of water and wait 15 minutes. You might be surprised at how often that's all it takes. Practical tips. Keep a glass of water on your kitchen counter where you'll see it. Set a small phone reminder mid-morning and mid-afternoon. Add a slice of lemon, lime, or cucumber to make it more enjoyable. Herbal teas count toward your fluid intake. Hydrated muscles are stronger, more responsive, and less likely to cramp. It costs nothing. On protein, the non-negotiable. Let's talk honestly about protein, because it's the single most important dietary factor for muscle health after 50. Current mainstream guidelines suggest most adults need about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. But research specifically on older adults is increasingly clear that number is too low. Most senior health experts now recommend between 1.2 and 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, nearly double the standard recommendation. For a 150-pound person, that means roughly 80 to 110 grams of protein per day. By following the day of eating we've outlined today, you'd be reaching approximately 90 to 100 grams. And without supplements, without expensive protein powders, just real food. But remember, it's not just the amount of protein, it's the distribution. 3 to 4 protein-rich eating occasions spread throughout the day, each with 25 to 30 grams of protein, is dramatically more effective than eating the same total amount in 1 or 2 sittings. This is the part that most people miss, and it is probably the most important insight in this entire video. On avoiding energy crashes. One more thing about the overall structure of this eating plan. Notice that every single meal and snack combines protein with slow-burning carbohydrates. This is intentional. Protein slows the absorption of carbohydrates, which means blood sugar rises gradually rather than spiking sharply. Stable blood sugar means stable energy. No mid-morning slump. No post-lunch crash. No desperate reaching for something sweet at 3 p.m. For seniors, energy stability matters for more than just comfort. Fatigue and low energy often translate directly into reduced activity. And reduced activity means faster muscle loss. Energy stability keeps you moving. Movement preserves muscle. It's a cycle. And we want to be on the right side of it. Let's bring it all together. Here's what one day of eating for senior muscle strength actually looks like. Morning, water first, then eggs, Greek yogurt, whole grain toast, and a handful of berries. Mid-morning, a handful of mixed nuts and a hard-boiled egg. Lunch, salmon, or another fatty fish, over quinoa with steamed vegetables and olive oil. Afternoon, cottage cheese with fruit or whole grain crackers. Dinner, lean protein with a sweet potato and leafy greens. Before bed, a small portion of cottage cheese, yogurt, or warm milk. Simple, affordable, achievable. Now, here's the thing I want to leave you with. None of this requires perfection. You don't have to follow this plan exactly every single day. You don't have to eat every item on this list. What matters is the pattern. Consistent protein throughout the day. Whole foods over processed ones. Hydration. Sleep. These habits, practiced consistently over weeks and months, compound. They're not dramatic. They don't feel revolutionary at the moment. But 3 months from now, 6 months from now, the difference will be real. You'll feel it when you get up from your chair. You'll feel it on the stairs. You'll feel it when you carry your own groceries. Walk in the park with your grandchildren. Tend your garden. Live your life. Margaret felt it, and you can too. Your body is not finished with you, not by a long shot. It's just waiting for the right fuel. Give it that fuel. Starting tomorrow morning, if this video was helpful to you, and I genuinely hope it was, I'd love it if you would take just 1 second and click that like button down below. It's a small thing, but it helps this information reach other seniors who need it. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Every week, we put out videos like this one. Simple, practical, honest information about health, strength, and living well in the second half of life. No gimmicks, no fads, just what actually works. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the 5 exercises that seniors should do every single day to protect muscle mass. Exercises you can do in your own living room that take less than 20 minutes. And that work even if you haven't exercised in years. You don't want to miss it. Until then, take care of yourself, eat well, drink your water, and remember, strength isn't something that is taken from you. It is something you get to choose every single day.